The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Davante Adams to the Jets. Davante is saying Aaron Rodgers is still trying to make it happen. Will it happen? Should it happen? We'll talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. Happy hump day and happy birthday to my dad, Steve Asman, the guy who made me a Jet fan, for better or worse. So happy birthday to my dad before we dive into today's show. We're talking about Davante Adams. Davante Adams is going to be a regular guest on the K Adams program that you see all over the internet. Up in Adams is the name of the show, and I'll get this one out of the way. K Adams and Davante Adams, they are not related. However, Davante was a guest with Kay, and Kay asked Davante about Aaron Rodgers.
You two are boys, a lot of love for each other. You went to the Derby together. We see the pictures on the Instagram. Are you telling me he's not getting in your ear and saying, hey, I want to play with you again?
Oh, he's in that ear, that's for sure. he's in the ear, but you know, it's not as easy as it, you know, obviously we can get together and talk about the old times and potential of doing this and that, but like I said, I'm a Raider, so, and he knows that, so.
So, okay, he's a Raider. That's true. Doesn't mean he's going to stay a Raider. Now, before people immediately say, well, why would the Raiders trade him? Let's remember, things change very quickly in the NFL. And we have now seen more player movement than we have ever before. You look at Davante Adams' contract, it is a very movable contract, the way it's structured. I don't need to bore you all with the salary cap ramifications, but the Jets could make a deal and acquire Davante. Now, if they were to add Davante Adams, it's not going to be before the start of the season. It's not going to be certainly now before training camp with just less than 2 weeks to go. But let's play it out for a moment here. The Las Vegas Raiders, to me, don't feel like a playoff team. They have a quarterback battle this summer between Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. They play in the same division as the two-time defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs. The Chargers should be better now that Justin Herbert has a real coach in Jim Harbaugh. I don't see the Raiders as a team that's contending for that division. Maybe they're fighting for a wild card spot. They did win 8 games this past year, but I don't look at the Raiders and view them with some of the improved teams around the AFC. Jets being one of those teams with Aaron back. Bengals being one of those teams with Burrow back. I already mentioned the Chargers. I don't right now, unless Aiden O'Connell shocks us or Gardner Minshew stuns us, I don't see the Raiders being a great team this year. And then I looked at their schedule. And if you go through their schedule, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Raiders, can't win some games early. They have some winnable games if you look at it. They do. They start the year week 1 at the Chargers. That's a winnable game for them in Harbaugh's first game. And then they go to Baltimore, home against Carolina. That should be a win. So they could start 2-1. Cleveland is week 4. Week 5 is Denver. These are winnable games, but they also could lose all these games. And then look at their schedule before their week 10 bye week, which lines up perfectly with the NFL trade deadline. At the Rams, home against the Chiefs, at the Bengals, week 10 bye. So they won't lose every game, right? But will they win all these games? What's their record going to be? The trade deadline is set to be on November 5th. That's right after they go through that stretch that I alluded to of Rams, Chiefs, Bengals. If the Raiders fall out of it, you don't think there's a chance they'd look to move Davante? He could say he loves Antonio Pierce all he wants. I'm sure he does. He also wants to win while he's still in the back half of his prime. He's still one of the better receivers in the league. Last year, with poor quarterback play and all the issues they had, he still had 1,100 yards and over 100 catches. And you plug him in to a Jet offense, he would fit in instantly because he knows the offense and he knows the quarterback. So this would not be your typical trade deadline move. It wouldn't take a while for him to get acclimated. That said, the Raiders would have to fall out of it, and we would have to see where the Jets are because there's a Jets angle to this. It's not just, oh, go get Davante. Look, if there's an injury to Garrett Wilson, God forbid, or Mike Williams is not the same guy or he's hurt again, then yeah, you're going to hear people say, go get Davante. Give up whatever. You're all in this year. Joe Douglas shouldn't care about draft picks down the line. He won't be here if they don't win. I get that argument. I do. I also don't think it's the Jet way just to give the Raiders whatever. There's a negotiation to all this. Even if Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams are healthy, you mean to tell me if the Raiders were to make Davante available, the Jets wouldn't make a call and check it? I think they would. So I do think he could be dealt. I do think the Jets would inquire. But we're projecting a lot here. One, the Jets have to be in the mix, which I think they will be. Most people, objectively speaking, think they're going to be a good team this year. But do they need a receiver? It's tough to project that until we see what it looks like because the trade deadline is not till November 5th after 9 games. Where will the Jets be at that point? But I go back to something the Jets did. Joe Douglas made a move during this year's draft that I think is very much not being discussed the way it should be. The New York Jets made a smart deal with the Detroit Lions where they traded away a 4th-round pick and got back a 3rd-round pick in 2025. That's this year's draft now. If you go back to the past couple of trade deadlines in football, the prime currency that gets dealt for a real notable player typically is around a 3rd-round pick. I think the Jets acquired that pick as an insurance policy to be able to bolster their team by the deadline in November if they have to. If there's an injury to a Garrett Wilson, if there's an injury to a key player on defense, maybe they need to replace a pass rusher. God forbid something happens to Jermaine or McDonald or Reddick. We saw Von Miller get dealt at a trade deadline from Denver to the Rams a few years back, and we saw how that helped LA win a championship. I believe the Jets made that move to pick up a 3rd-round pick, so they have that ammunition if they need be to use that in a deal at the deadline. The Jets would feel comfortable trading one of their 3rds and a 4th for a big-time player if that big-time player is Davante. And you could say, is that enough? Well, you're only getting him for half the year. He's under contract, but you could restructure his deal. Maybe a new regime's coming in and you're starting over if you flame out. Whatever the case may be, the way the move would be made, the way the move would be viewed is you're getting him for a half-a-year rental, then you go from there. So I don't think Davante would cost nearly as much as maybe what some would think. Just go back and look at recent trade deadlines. You never see 1st-round picks or anything of that magnitude get dealt. We know Rodgers wants him. We know the Jets tried to get him last trade deadline. They leaked that everywhere to basically show us fans, see, we tried. And it's like, great. How about get a better backup quarterback so we didn't have to watch Zach Wilson? But I digress. But I don't think this is a crazy possibility. A lot has to happen for us to get to that point. But we can't sit here and completely rule it out. Now, I'll say this. If the Jets can't land Davante Adams, they should try and acquire Kay Adams to boost morale because she's tremendous. We love Kay. But Davante's doing a weekly on her show. If the Raiders fall out of it, that's going to be interesting when he's asked about possibly being traded every week if the Raiders don't win a bunch of games early. Once again, their schedule at the Chargers, at the Ravens, home against Carolina, home against Cleveland, at Denver, home against Pittsburgh, at the Rams, home against the Chiefs, at the Bengals, trade deadline. What's the Raiders' record through those games? What's their record? You tell me. 9 games right there. 4-5? 3-6? Give them a win against Carolina. Say they find a win against Denver. Say they find a win against either the Chargers or the Browns. I mean, none of those games besides Carolina are gimmies. So, to me, it's not crazy. They could make this deal if the right opportunity presented itself. There's a reason why I believe they added that extra third-round pick. And hell, if you're the Jets and this team's as good as they should be, and you're all in to win this year, even if it costs you both your thirds, you wouldn't do that for Davante Adams? You kidding me? How'd it work when the Rams got OBJ? When OBJ was still actually a good player. Sometimes you got to be all in. This would be an all-in type move if you could do it by the deadline. Remember, the last time this team was actually good, the New York Jets, 2009 in season, Mike Tannenbaum traded for Braylon Edwards. In season. He wasn't on the 09 Jets at the beginning of the year. Jets' number 1 receiver was Jericho Cotchery, and their number 2 was Chauncey Stuckey. Remember that. They needed to get Sanchez weapons. They did. Braylon was huge. Then, obviously, you look at the Jets the last time they were good. You go back to 2010, that offseason, they traded for Santonio Holmes. When the Jets have been good, they've acquired a wide receiver in a trade. They didn't make the playoffs in 15, but Brandon Marshall had the greatest single season a Jet receiver's ever had. He was acquired in a trade. So there is precedence to this in the history of the Jets. Keep that in mind as well. So do I think it happens now or before this season? No. We get to the trade deadline and the Raiders are 3-6, even 4-5, and Davante's unhappy. O'Connell's not any good. Minshew's not playing well. You don't think Davante would ask out? I don't think it's crazy. So keep that in mind as we get closer and closer to the season. Watch what the Raiders do early on. That will tell us a lot. Hit the like button if you're tuned in to our show right now. I want to thank all the Asmaniacs who continue to support day in, day out. Reminder, we officially announced our first ever Jake Asman Show watch party. Jets Panthers. It's a Saturday night in August 17th. We're going to all come together at T Squared Social in Midtown Manhattan. The party starts at 6:30. The game kicks off at 7. Come enjoy drink specials, food specials. They got a golf simulator, darts, a bowling alley. This spot is awesome. It's actually co-owned by Tiger Woods and Justin Timberlake, hence the name T Squared Social. So it's going to be a blast. It's a great venue, plenty of space, but make sure you RSVP with the link in the description so we can get an accurate number. We're going to do giveaways that night. I'm excited to share that the ESPN New York promo team is going to be hanging out with us, giving out some swag. So we got some big things coming. Stay tuned for more info. But if you're interested in joining us, RSVP with the description link that you could find to do so. It's free to attend, and let's have some fun all together as we gear up for the upcoming New York Jets season. Once again, comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. The great Boomtown checks in with a super chat. Picture this. Adams and Williams on the outside. Wilson and Corley in the slot with Breece Hall in the backfield, injected into my veins. Sign me up. Now, worth noting, right? Maybe Gibson is so much better in year 2, or Corley hits the ground running in year 1 like Garrett Wilson did, that Maybe they don't even need Davante. Maybe it's not a huge need. I find it hard to believe that they couldn't use Davante Adams, but keep that in mind too. Rodgers should make everyone better. Go look at what he did in Green Bay and some of the names that put up stats. One of them's on the Jets right now. His name is Alan Lazard. Keep that in mind too. But I would be hard-pressed to sit here and say on July 10th, yeah, the Jets are going to be so good at receiver, they don't need Davante Adams. First State Jet says, if Davante is made available, you go and get him. No brainer. Obviously, there's a cost, but once again, I would tend to agree. He's Davante Adams. BP York says, we don't need Adams. I would love to have him, but we don't need him. Maybe you don't need him right now. You might need him, though. You might. Keep that in mind. Gusbuster hotline's open. Kyle has the first word today. What's up, Kyle?
Hey, what's going on, Jake?
What's up, Kyle?
I'm at first blush, I'm not crazy about the idea of bringing in Adams, even though he's a very talented player. I think what you're saying has some value. Like, you have to kind of wait and see. You have to see what Gibson develops into. You have to wait and see who else becomes available and at what cost. They have an extra third-round pick, as you pointed out. I think they have an extra sixth-round pick too. You might be able to get a lesser player at a lesser cost, like Cortland Sutton, who I'm not crazy about, but I think he might fit pretty well on the outside opposite Williams if you wanted to put Garrett in the slot. That's something that you might want to think about as, you come down to the deadline. I think ultimately, all things being equal, if, say, Gibson doesn't pan out or, Corley is a slow starter, I think they'd like to get Garrett into the slot because of the free release that he would get from there. That would probably benefit the offense greatly if we had professional receivers on the outside. What do you think?
I certainly see Garrett playing in the slot a lot more, but, it's one of those things where I think they're going to move him everywhere.
Yeah.
I think we even saw that in the limited preseason drives with Rodgers. They lined Garrett Wilson up all over the field that night.
Right. And if the cost makes sense to bring in Adams, he's the type of player that can do that as well. I think that as the games progress and you have games played in a Raiders uniform, his salary is prorated down based on the games played. So they might not even have to create space depending on when they acquire him.
100%. I look, at the end of the day, there's a lot that has to happen, Kyle, for this deal to actually go down, but we know they want him. They wanted them last year. We know Aaron is still telling Davante, hey, come to the Jets. Keep that in mind. And after Mikal Bridges actually got traded to the Knicks, I think anything's possible with enough recruiting. Because I don't think anyone thought the Nets would actually trade Bridges to the Knicks for one reason, geography. And it happened. So this trade could happen too. Hit the like button if you're tuned in. Hit the like button if you think Davante Adams would be a nice addition on the New York Jets. Nate says, I think Adams is starting to fall off. I disagree. He's still one of the better receivers in the league. I mean, Davante Adams last season with poor quarterback play, a la Garrett Wilson style, still played in every game. He's been incredibly durable in his career, which I point to. Had 103 catches, 1,100 yards, and 8 touchdowns. And most of that production was towards the second half of the season, once Antonio Pierce got there and they started to feed him the ball. The year before that, with Derek Carr throwing to him, 1,500 receiving yards, 100 receptions, 14 touchdowns, led the NFL. He's still that guy, guys. Is he going to score 18 touchdowns like he did in 2020 when Aaron won MVP in Green Bay? Probably not, right? That's okay. Zit says, this is why Rodgers took that pay cut. That's part of it, right? Look where Aaron Rodgers' cap hit ranks in the NFL this season among quarterbacks. That's how the Jets have flexibility to add Tyron, Mike Williams, all these guys. David writes in, Jake, you think Adams would only be for a third? All right, let's say it's more than a third. You wouldn't trade a second for Davante if that was the missing piece? I'd have to think about it, see where the Jets are at that point. Like, obviously, if Garrett Wilson is healthy and Mike Williams is healthy, I don't know if you would do that. We've got to see what they look like. But if, God forbid, there's an injury to Garrett and you need a number one receiver, yeah, I probably would. I don't think it'd be a first. But I would trade it too. Because then think about it. If you have 2/3, you want to get back in the second round next year, well, you have the ammunition to do so. We saw the Jets nearly pull that off this year without a second round pick. They traded up to the first pick of the third round, basically an extension of the second round at that point. So it can be done. I'm also not worried about draft picks. I don't care. I want to win this year, man. All right. The Jets have had all these draft picks for years. It hasn't amounted to anything. Time to win. You got this window. If Davante's the missing piece and you could get it done, do it. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We are in need of more Asmaniacs so we could debut our new channel emoji, which will be the Asmaniac emoji. After we debut the Asmaniac emoji, many people, and I mean many people, are demanding the Allen in a blonde wig emoji, which could be coming after we hit our latest emoji threshold. We need more channel members, so hit that join button on the left-hand side if you haven't already. More calls right now. Let's go to Matthew, who's up next. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning, Jake. Jake, with regards to the Raiders, long gone are the days of the early 2000s when, I don't know if you remember back when they had Gannon and all those guys, Romanowski, Brown, they were one of the more fascinating teams in football. But we're not in the early 2000s anymore. This is 2024. Early in the show, while you were talking about the Raiders' schedule, I took a peek at it. They only won 8 games last season. They win less next season. They win 6-7. It is not an easy schedule. They probably get swept by both the Chiefs and the Chargers. They're at home, against the Panthers, and then they have a winnable game late in the season against the Falcons, and then maybe they split with the Broncos, but they're not going to be particularly impressive next season. And Davante Adams right now is just saying all the right things, which is what athletes usually do when they're interviewed. Let's be realistic here. They say all the right things. I'm guessing he doesn't want to play for the Raiders. There's probably a list of teams he wants to play for, but it's probably all the way at the top of the list is probably the Jets because of you-know-who. And remember what happened after Garrett Wilson changed his number from 17 to 5. Many were arguing that that was a way of luring Davante Adams in, because what's Davante Adams' number? 17.
Yeah, but remember now that 17 is not available because Corley's wearing it.
Yeah, but can he pay off the player, though, to take it?
Not in season. I don't think you could do that.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But many people were saying that at the time. But again, he's just saying all the right things. He doesn't want to play for that team, Jake. They win 6-7 games next season.
Maybe. Look, I think he's going into it with an open mind, right? But, I mean, their schedule, I said it before, not easy. The last 3 games before the trade deadline, Rams, Chiefs, Bengals. That should be 3 losses. They won't be a favorite in any of those games. So what's their record at the deadline? If they're 3-6, he could be dealt. If they're 4-5, would they trade him? Or would they say, hey, we're still in it? They have their bye week right after the trade deadline, week 10. Then they come out of the bye at Miami, home Denver, at KC. 2 of those 3 are not easy games. They could beat Miami. Miami would be a favorite, though. Denver, I mean, I have no idea what to expect from Bo Nix in Denver. And then the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Now, the Raiders do play the Chiefs well, though, to be fair to them. They did go into Arrowhead on Christmas Day last year, and they won, but I wouldn't pick that to happen again. So we'll see. We will see. Tom says, is this the Jets porn episode or is that later? The Jets porn episode is with Fialco later today. We're going to remind everybody who Aaron Rodgers is, all right? So I'm tired of the nonsense. That's coming up around 4 Eastern today. If you're not watching this live right now, hit that like button. There's 215 watching live, but only 97 likes. The math is not mathing, folks. Speaking of math, I'm not good at math, but I do know a thing or two about money. And let me tell you, Circa is giving out a lot of money.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select 1 team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
Money, baby. We will have an entry. The Asmaniacs will have an entry in the Circa Sports Survivor contest. You also could sign up, of course, for the Circa Pro Football Million contest and make your picks there. This is the best, both of them, the 2 best, I should say, contests for pro football betting. Circasports.com for more information. Once again, $16 million in guaranteed prizes. Insane. We'll be out at Circa at the end of August doing our show from their contest weekend Radio Row for a couple days. So I'm looking forward to that trip. More of your calls right now, but first, a super chat from Kyle Clifton. He cuts the line, baby. When Kay stopped lounging around in her sweats on AM on NFL Network, Good Morning Football, my life got infinitely worse. No more Good Morning Football, man. I guess they're starting up in LA, but it's not the same. I don't know why the NFL wouldn't find the money to keep that show in New York. How could the NFL Network have budget cuts if you're owned by the NFL? How do you not get all the owners together and just fund it? Makes no sense. I don't get it. ISU writes in, good morning, everyone. Went back and watched Davante's comments, checked on Jake's response. Agree 100% with Jake. The extra capital from the draft can be used if the Raiders fall off early. Maybe they don't end up using that extra capital and they just have it. They got 2 third-round picks next year. Great. I think that was a calculated trade by this GM, understanding this is an all-in year, and he might need extra capital to solidify the roster by the deadline to try and get the Jets to at least the playoffs and maybe beyond that. Because that's the expectation. Anything else, not good enough. It's just not. This team's got to win. Nate is up next on the show this morning. Hello, Nate.
Hey, Jake. What's going on?
Nate, you got to call in more, man. You're a good commenter.
Yeah, I try. It's tough to dial in all off season, you know. We kind of get lost. We get a little goofy. But today's topic I was really excited about.
Well, you know what? The floor is yours, Nate. What do you got?
So originally I said, you know, I think he's starting to fall off. I think that's because I play a lot of fantasy football. What I signed up for Davante last year was not it. He did not deliver, you know, at his ADP. Obviously, football is very different. You imagine a quarterback like Rodgers probably would elevate his game. Obviously, over AOC or Minshew or whoever they got throwing the ball in Las Vegas. And I went back and looked at the stats.
I thought AOC was a politician, but go on.
Aiden O'Connell, bro. AOC. So, you know what? I think if the price is a third-round pick, I think the price is right there. I wouldn't mind him as an addition.
Look, fantasy-wise, I'm sure you drafted him a lot higher than the numbers say, but he still statistically had a great year. He had 103 catches, 8 touchdowns, and 1,100 yards. Like, he's still a stud. That's what bad quarterback play, man. Did you see Jimmy G at the beginning of last year? And then they started a rookie in Aiden O'Connell. Like, that was not a good situation he was in last year, and he still balled out, very similar to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, like I said, I went back and looked at his stats after, you know, you made your rebuttal. I'm kind of with you there. Obviously, you do have to take into account the QB play there. It was not great. And you know how much Rodgers can elevate his game, too. Though that's just a magical combo.
100%. Now, Nate, are you getting your steps in this morning? Is that why you called in, walking around wherever you are?
Yeah, mostly. I did a lot of late night snacking. I did a little bit of what Ricky NY does and Weed the People. And I indulged in a lot of cereal and cold pizza. Shout out Chiefs fan. I it got away from me. So, yeah, get my steps in.
I love it. Well, Nate, call back anytime, all right?
All right. Peace, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nate checking in. Love it. Ricky NY. He told me he will not be calling in until he fixes his Wi-Fi. Ricky, I hope you fix it soon because we miss you. I'm honoring you today on the show. I'm wearing my custom-made Ricky NY hat that he sent me. Shout out to Ricky. Hit the like button. Alan says, my wife was horrified by blonde wig Alan. How about the fact that you're starring in a new film, Alan? What did she say about this? Do you have any thoughts on this one? E3, the extra testicle, coming to theaters this August. Any thoughts on that one? No? John writes in, Jake, do you have a current head count for 817? Oh, I do. And it's going to be popping, John. Oh, I do. I'm going to do something special for the people who RSVP first. But I'm still working on that, so I don't want to announce it. But RSVP, folks, it is easy. It takes 5 seconds. You literally click a link, you put your name and email in, and boom. T-Squared Social. This place is awesome. You know, Alan said that he was horrified, or his wife was horrified by him in a blonde wig. Wow. I don't know if anyone was more horrified the other night than Gary after this happened.
Oh, is that Gary's wife? Hi, Gary's wife. Oh, there she is. Got good looking.
Oh, yeah. This is what I'd imagine Bobby thought he was seeing because he was so tired. Like, it makes sense, right? Now I understand why Bobby confused Gary for his wife. Because if this showed up on your screen, oh, man. This would rock your socks. Am I right? Right? Right, Bobby?
Oh, is that Gary's wife? Hi, Gary's wife. Oh, there she is. Got good looking.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Joining us right now is the man of the hour, ladies and gentlemen, one of the sexiest females we have that watches this show. Gary. Hello, Gary.
It's Can you never post that picture again?
What do you mean? You look great.
Please take it down. Make it stop. Please make it stop.
You're a hot box of rocks, baby.
Away.
Yeah.
I'm obviously a very, very handsome man. But as a woman, not so good. Really. Make it go away, Jake. Please make it go away. First, I got a beef with Kyle Clifton.
A beef?
Kyle, yeah. Not really, but kind of. So I said I was going to be in Queens last week. And I was taking pizza recommendations. Then yesterday, after I come back, he says Rocco's. Rocco's is in Far Rockaway. I was thinking Howard Beach. That's like 12 minutes away. So I text my aunt who I stay with, like, hey, do you know Rocco's of Rock in Far Rockaway? She goes, oh, yeah, that place is great. Where were you? I needed that last week. 2 minutes too late, pal. I did go to New Park Pizza, so it's never a total loss. But, like, you got this great pizza recommendation. I'm asking for pizza recommendations. I'm 12 minutes away. And where's he at?
I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what. How did your overall pizza compare to the classic Chevron gas station pizza that you enjoy?
Nothing's as good as Chevron, Jake. You know that.
Of course. Of course.
And it was Quick Trip pizza that I said I would take over McDonald's. I would probably take Chevron pizza over McDonald's and Burger King too. I don't know if I've ever had pizza from Chevron. But as far as Adams goes,
K or Davante?
Okay. We'll take either one, right? We got a roster spot for K Adams, don't we? We can figure something. We can figure something out.
100%. I'd put her on the 53.
we got something. Davante Adams. If you can get him, get him. It would be like video games, right? Like your wide receivers would be Garrett, Big Mike, and Adams. Come on now. Like with Aaron Rodgers, we're playing video games here. Like offense is now easy. Like if you have to give up a second round pick, just do it. We have a 40-year-old quarterback. What's he going to get better 5 years? You know what I'm saying? Like this is it. This is your shot. If you can get Davante Adams for a second round just do it. It's just like the Knicks. The Nets said, "Give me all your picks," and the Knicks were like, "All right, what are we going to wait till another year? Like, this is our team. This is the chance that we have to win. If you have to give up a second-round pick, it's not ideal. It's not what I want to do. But are you going to complain about it when you win the Super Bowl? Like, look at that receiving core, bro.
I agree. Like, if that's what it would take. Now, let's see how the year plays out. What if Corley's as good as advertised? What if Mike Williams is having a phenomenal season? Like, you might not need it. There might be other areas that you need to invest in at the deadline. Maybe they're decimated on defense this year as opposed to offense, and they need a pass rusher. They need their Von Miller to put them over the top. So we'll see how the year goes. But I don't disagree with anything you said. I just want to see how this situation develops.
If you're going to be on the phone with the Raiders, you might want to check in about the tight end too. Just putting that out there.
I'll tell you what will not happen. The Jets will not trade for Brock Bowers.
That's why you got to be the GM. I got to be the GM. I'll get it done. I'll get Brock Bowers.
What would you give up for Brock? The Herschel Walker draft?
We'll figure it out, Jake. We'll figure it out, right?
Did somebody say Brock Bowers?
For bringing up Brock, I'm putting this back on the screen. Look at it, Gary. Look at it. Do you want to be part of the 4% female demographic? Can I count you?
If you make that thing go away, yes, you can count me in the 4%.
Oh, we've only just begun.
It's the most repulsive thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, and it's me, so I don't know how to respond.
Oh, you're kind of cute, huh? Maybe Bobby was onto something.
That's an attractive woman to you, Jake?
Sure.
Ugliest woman I've ever seen in my life.
Wow. Come on, have some confidence in yourself, Gary.
I'm a very handsome man. As a woman, not so much.
I think the lipstick looks great on you. Goodbye, Gary.
Right? Gas station pizza is better than a Big Mac.
Incredible. Incredible. Nate writes in, ask Gary Brunson versus Halliburton and plug your ears. Gary, let me guess. You would take Therese Halliburton over Jalen Brunson? Was that your take? I don't need to ask you about it. I'm good. I don't have it in me to argue that. All right. That's like saying 1 + 1 does not equal 2. All right. You know what? If you think that, God bless you. God bless you. Halliburton's a really good player. Jalen Brunson's better. Speaking of Brunson, Rich says, can Jalen be on the squad now that Kawhi backed out of the Olympics? One, I don't think Jalen's fully healthy yet with the fractured hand. And two, I'm pretty sure I just saw that Derek White is going to be the replacement for Kawhi. Did Kawhi get hurt? I didn't see the reason why he was pulled from the team. Yeah, according to Mark Spears, Celtics guard Derek White's replacing Kawhi. It would have been cool if Brunson was on the team, right? I used to love watching Carmelo play on the Olympic team. I was in Rio in 2016 for his last Olympics. I was an intern for NBC. The big fella with a super chat. I can't make it to the meetup because I will be in Tennessee. Use this super chat for a drink on me. As for Adams, I would pass and go get Cortland Sutton. He's another name to watch for, big fella. Right? Last year it was Mike Evans and Davante they checked in on. Well, let's see what happens with Denver. Same conversation we had about the Raiders and what they are. We could be having that about Denver. Sean Payton's running the show there. He didn't draft Cortland Sutton. I'm sad you won't be able to make the meetup, my friend. But there'll be plenty more. Don't worry. Super chats will continue to cut the line. Who's going to make it rain? Channel memberships. We have our newest emoji ready to roll. It's the Asmaniac emoji. But we need about 150 members or so until we could update that emoji. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob the Jet fan is on the line. Hello, Rob.
Jake, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, Rob?
Good. I'm definitely down for the 817 going to the T-square there. That sounds really, really good.
Can't wait. Make sure you RSVP, all right?
Okay, that's in the link in the Discord?
In the description. It's in the Discord as well, yep.
In the description, okay. And Jake, when you get a chance, can you send me that Parts Unknown link? You know where to send it to me.
In the Discord as well. But yeah, message me. I got you.
Yeah, if you could send that, I'd appreciate it. And let me tell you, I'm definitely voting for Allen for the emoji as the ugly, ugly woman. But I don't think we should call it a third testicle because I think he doesn't have any testicles, to be honest with you. Come on, let's be honest here. I mean, he's suspect as a guy, but he's an ugly woman. Ugly woman. But as far as the Davante thing, I think you're kind of right there. We have that extra third-round pick, which gives us a chip. And if we cannot pull that off, the big fellow's not wrong about Cortland. I mean, I would also go after him, two viable guys. If we're struggling in that position, we might not. But, you know, I tell you, if the Raiders go with Aiden O'Connell, he's pretty horrible. I don't think they're going anywhere. Excuse me. I don't think they're really going anywhere with that quarterback. Gordon Minshew is a decent game manager, but is he really a quarterback that's going to give you like 9-10 wins? No. You know, he's not that good. You know, he's a number 2 quarterback. We know that, right?
Look, I think what it comes down to is, you know, where they are at the deadline, right? If they're 3-6, I think they would definitely move them. So I think if you want Davante on the Jets, root for the Raiders to be bad.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we're going to be going okay because we're going to have Mike Williams in action. And if Corley turns out to be the player that we think he's going to be, plus Braylon Allen out of the backfield with receptions too, we might have just enough. But, I mean, anything to pull all the stops for JD to get us to the promised land, we got to consider all. So, you know what? You're right. That third-round pick next year means nothing to us if we don't make the big dance and we're not all in this year, which, you know, again, you know, then Aaron Rodgers is another year older. So I get what you're saying. So we got to be all in on one of these guys if it occurs and we get to that situation. So I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you.
Rob, I appreciate it. Look, a lot has to happen before it's even a real conversation, but this is what we do in July. We project. We look ahead. I don't think it's crazy. We've seen more player movement in the NFL than ever before. We know they tried last year to get him. The Raiders could be out of the mix by the deadline. The Jets could need another weapon. It could happen. They have the extra pick to do it. V-Man has gifted a channel membership. How about our guy V-Man coming through for the people?
Oh, nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, the listener who received the membership from V-Man is Flight Right 49. Congratulations to Flight Right 49. Ladies and gentlemen, speak of the devil. Joining us right now is V-Man.
It's time for another V-Man call. Hopefully he's not sleeping. Adios mio.
V-Man, welcome aboard. Nice job gifting a membership.
I thought I would. You know, I got to say this about Gary. I don't think he's going to be winning a drag contest in the village anytime soon.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, now to the Davante stuff. I agree. Like, I think I would go after Davante. Like, depending on the, obviously you can't hurt. It can never hurt to have more weapons. You never know. Also, the season's unpredictable. We saw that firsthand Monday night last year. So you never know when, unfortunately, maybe a weapon doesn't pan out, weapon gets hurt. So keeping tabs on Davante is, I think, a very important thing that this organization must do, and seeing if he's available. And I think you're right there with the Raiders are probably a team that's still, like, they're still a team that's working to get themselves to contention. They're not a team that's ready to compete. So they'll, like, I feel like they'll be looking to dump off some players to try to get some assets to build for the future.
If they're out of it, you know, that's the bottom line. You know, maybe they're better than we think. I don't know. Maybe Aiden O'Connell is the real deal in year 2, or Gardner Minshew is playing out of his mind. It could happen. They have a good roster at some positions. It's just coming down to the fact, you know, where do they stack up in a loaded conference in a division with the Chiefs, and now the Chargers should be better. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way, V-Man, the guy you gifted the membership to, Flight Right, says you're the man.
No problem.
Well, V-Man, it looks like you got a busy schedule ahead. Are we just playing the guitar all day?
I was just doing some practicing.
A little practice. Would you say practice makes perfect?
I guess Yeah.
Yeah. V-Man, have you thought about my offer to you for you to perform at the watch party halftime show?
I mean, I'd have to do a lot of practicing, and like I said, so someone was asking what the hell a pocket amp was. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's an amp out it doesn't actually fit in your pocket, but it like clips to your pocket.
I don't know, V-Man. I think you should do it. I think the crowd will go nuts if you showed up.
I'm nervous. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a comfortable performer. I'm not, and like I said, I probably would choke under the circumstances.
No, you'd kill it.
You're being nice, but like, I don't know. Like, really, somebody. I'm pretty sure I played Smoke on the Water already. I mean, sorry, that's just that's just picking up the cable when it touches it when the cable touches the skin shop.
All right,
Yeah,
V-Man. We'll keep practicing, and you let us know if you want to perform at halftime.
Yeah. All right.
That's the end of that V-Man call. Now he can go back to sleeping.
My ears hurt from that screech, V-Man. Yikes. You're killing everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Clifton responds to Gary. Bang brought up Rocco's, not me, Gary. To which Bang Mateo super chats, I recommended Rocco's. I know pizza. Enjoy, Gary. There you have it, folks. Gary wrong at the wrong person. Or Gary mad at the wrong person. Interesting. Doesn't change the fact that Gary is now a woman. At least in the eyes of Bobby. Zach writes in, Jake, any chance we make a trade for a rookie weapon? Maybe Brock Bowers for our first next year.
I mean, Black Bowers is definitely like the greatest player in the history.
Can't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Basil is for the Asmaniacs. How about 10 channel memberships?
Oh, nice.
Oh, baby. Here we go. We haven't had a 10 spot in a while. Money, money, money. Here we go. SDA Jets jetted out. D-Van G, Mr. C, William Amelli, Mr. Business, Larry Thomas, Peter Borodanis, the 42nd EG. You guys are all channel members. Congratulations. Big time. V-Man gifted 1. Rob gifted 10. I think we needed like 150. We're getting closer. Curly says JD also tried to get O-line help. Oh, wait. No, he didn't. What are you talking about, Curly? He signed Roger Saffold. 4Zit says, how do I find the Discord? It is included with your membership to Patreon. You have to join the Patreon first to join the Discord. Once you join Patreon for just $5 a month, which is less than a cup of coffee, you then get all the perks, which includes the Discord access, where you find out about events before the general public, discounts in the soon-to-be-launched merch store comes with your membership, this show in audio form so you can connect it to Apple or Spotify and listen that way. Bonus shows that are not on YouTube. It's one of the best deals in sports besides Jalen Brunson's contract. David says, would wide receiver Lamb be a better trade target? They're not going to trade him. Would I rather CD Lamb? Yeah, because he's younger, but come on. Lawrence says, my membership expired. Well, Lawrence, I'll tell you what. Hit the join button. You can get another one. Jimbo writes in, who's a better looking woman, Alan or Gary? Jake, thoughts? Unfortunately, this is not really a question I think I'm capable of answering. There's only one guy I know that probably could weigh in and give a great opinion on this. And he happens to be on the line right now.
Well, I can't wear my freaking hat. It's hot, my balls will sweat. Oh, look, I have a fan. Bobby.
You bring me on for that dumb question? No, none of them look like a girl, okay? Thank you.
That's not what you said.
I told you I was tired. Okay, drop that. Gary doesn't want to see that.
Is this what you thought Gary looked like, though? I think it makes some sense.
No. Is that Gary's wife? Hi, Gary's wife. Oh, there she is. Good looking. I'm not here to talk about that. That's dropped already, Jake. Stop bringing that idiot shit up. All right, so I think that if we need him down the road, we should pick up. Stop laughing. I called your show Be Nice yesterday to you.
I enjoyed your call, but it's still very funny.
Yeah, but it's dropped. Drop it. And Gary doesn't want it anymore too. I agree with him.
I think he secretly enjoyed it personally.
And that other guy, stupid question. I'm not answering that. Okay. I don't even know you. I don't have to answer you. Okay. Thank you very much.
No problem.
So yeah, I think if we need him down the road, that will be a big pickup. Stop laughing. Adams, that would be good. I still like Kay Adams. I miss her.
Here we go, Bobby.
Hey, well, you showed
Oh, baby.
Calm your freaky down.
Shut up. You show them the interview. You're the one that brought her up. The interview with who he had an interview with.
Yeah. I brought Kay Adams up because I credited her show for the video.
Yeah, I know. That was a good show.
But you're bringing up Kay Adams for one reason.
Calm your freaky down.
All right, that's enough, Jake. First thing in the morning, Jake.
It's not the morning anymore, Bobby. It's after 12. This is my concern with you doing your show all hours of the night. You think it's still the morning. It's already the afternoon.
I know. I was here for you at 11 o'clock.
I'm concerned. You're not getting enough sleep, Bobby.
I slept well. I slept at 10 o'clock today.
You sound a little cranky today.
If you stop showing those pictures, I won't be as cranky. Gary said he doesn't want to see those pictures. I don't want this. I made a mistake.
What about the one of Alan in a wig, though?
Okay, that cracks me up.
Okay, so I have permission to laugh about this.
Yes, that cracks me up.
Okay.
I think he looks like Garth from Wayne's World. I think he looks funny. I know his wife doesn't like it. I die laughing every time I see that. That's different. That's very different. That's a funny picture. That is a funny picture. Hey, I already got the thing. I went all through the 3 steps on YouTube already.
All right.
And then I'm going. I don't know when it starts. When does it start? After they told me to set up like different things on the other end, like super chats and all that. When does that start kicking in?
I don't know because I haven't done that in almost 4 years already.
Oh, you're an old-time pro at this. I forgot that. I'm a rookie. That's true.
Now, you don't want my butt on a stick, Bobby, right? Just want to make it clear.
No, why?
I'm just making sure.
Tom, that's already squashed, and you're back to my channel again. I made a boo-boo the other day. I hit the wrong guy.
You made a boo-boo?
No, I made a boo-boo. I put Tom Ace in. I drew him out by accident. I had to throw somebody else out, but you know how fast the chat goes, right?
Oh, I see it. The chat's going wild over your calls.
And Gator fixed it up for me. Gator fixed up the whole problem.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, Gator helps me out with everything. So, and you do too. All right, so I'll see you at 4 o'clock with my pal Andrew. Can't
see you there. When are you going live today?
Right after your show.
Oh, yeah, Bobby. It never ends. The show just goes on and on and on.
You know I like the Yankees and the Jets. Can't believe Jake and Rodgers met. I'm more than just a hat on Bobby.
What a call from Bobby there. At least we can agree, right? That Alan in a wig, cross-dressing Alan, funny. Gary as a woman, not funny. At least we've established some ground rules here. But I'll tell you what, Bobby. That clip of you and Gary will forever be funny. I'll never not chuckle at that. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat from Del Rhino. He cuts the line. Your favorite Texan fan here. It's my birthday. Glad to celebrate with you guys. We miss you in the H, bro. Hope you guys have a great season, just not on October 31st. Here's money. Dude, you shouldn't be sending me money on your birthday. Del Rhino, message me your Venmo, and I got a birthday drink on me covered. Shout out to you, my man. Appreciate your support. Looking forward to Jets-Texans. It'll be a great game that night. Hope you're doing safe with the hurricane down there, man. I still got friends who haven't had power for days already. Crazy. Happy birthday, Dorino. Happy birthday. Send me your Venmo. Cincy Matt with a super chat. Super group with Bobby on the vocals, V-Man shredding. Now that would be a super group, Cincy. You're not wrong. That would be electric. All right. Purple Belt Mike says, Tay on the Jets will have the number one offense and defense. Plus, Bobby is sexy, FYI. I don't know about that one, Mike. That last part. Bobby, do you think you're sexy? Is it okay if Mike refers to you in that way? Matthias says Jets talk, please. You don't think we've given you Jets talk today? What's more Jets talk than this? All right. You won't find more Jets talk than what I have on the screen right now. Just saying. More of your calls right now. Julio's on the line. What's up, Julio?
What's up, Jake?
What's up, Julio? How are you?
Right there, chilling. Man, I was talking about what you were talking about, Davante Adams, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel if we get him, we get him. But if we can't get him, let's try to get Corey Davis back. We could get him in a cheaper price.
I don't know. Like, is he truly a difference maker a year after not playing and still kind of being unsigned and being out there at this point?
Well, better than Alan Lazard, don't you think?
Maybe, but he hasn't played. Like if they're gonna make that move, there would need to be an injury first. You're not just like Davante. You would add no matter what if you could somehow get him now because he's Davante Adams.
Yeah.
Like Corey Davis is not in that category.
No, he ain't. Well, I was just looking like, hey, if we can't get one of these great receivers like Sutton, Adams, and stuff like that, let's bring Corey Davis back. He is productive, not a superstar, but way productive that we can use him in there.
Look, if they had an injury or, we look at this receiver room this summer and we go, man, they're not any good. Maybe they could sign him, but I wouldn't expect him to be added at this point until something like that happened.
Yeah, you're right. I was looking at it like that way, like that's a way we can go if we have to. But I think we got a great receiving squad, though.
They might. I mean, look, Mike Williams is Mike Williams. Him and Garrett Wilson is one of the best 1-2 combos in the league. People conveniently never mention that. It's always, he's coming off injury. Okay. So was Breece Hall last year. Look what he did.
Yeah. And also, you got to remember, Mike Williams, he's a 50-50 receiver.
Yes, he
can catch them for us, them 50-50 balls, So, yeah, that's why I said we got a great receiving squad. We got a great running game. I feel like we got better on offensive line.
Without question. I mean, their offensive line at this time last year, we didn't know who it was. And if you look at what they're going to start week 1, we've already known the starting 5 since mid-March. And just compare year over year, 4 of the 5 starters that are starting week 1 for the Jets this year didn't start last year for them.
Exactly. So I'm kind of happy with what we have right now. Defensively wise, I hope we get settled with what's his name that came from the Eagles? I forgot his name already. I had him in
Hassan
my mind.
Reddick.
Yeah. I'm hoping that we get that settled. Let's bring him in and let's have a great year.
Julio, I appreciate you, my man. Great call. Time to have a great year. We're owed it. We need it. All right. Shout out to Snowball. Greetings from Italy. Folks, Snowball is the maker of this emoji that we're hoping to upload soon when we get more members. Hope you're having a great vacation, Snowball. You having any chicken and pasta there? Yeah? Have a good vacation, Snowball. Give us a call from Italy. We love international callers. We love it. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Today's Jake Asman Show being presented by my friends at Homage. Get yourself an Homage shirt. Any of the ones you see on the screen. They also have shorts, hoodies, starter jackets. I'm going to make it easy, all right? This is the coolest website for Jets gear. Scan the QR code. Take out your phone. Scan it right now so this show gets credit for sending you there. And then purchase any of the items that interest you. I have all the shirts you see on the screen. That's my actual bedroom right there, my actual bed where I laid out the shirts they sent me. And I love each one so much. I wore the Broadway Joe one yesterday on the show. The Gotham City football one in the middle there in the gray is my favorite. I love all of them, though. You can have the same ones, whatever size you want. Scan the QR code or simply go to the description for this video and hit the link you see there, and it will take you to the Homage website, and this show will get credit for sending you there. So get some Jet swag ahead of the upcoming season with Homage. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Tom says, hey, Carly, day 2 of the stash. How much longer is Jake keeping it? Tom, let's make one thing abundantly clear. Carly has no impact whatsoever on what my facial hair looks like. None. All right? Copper Johns has a deal on mustache wax, and I'm showing support. Also, I already have a beard already. It grows back so quick. But my facial hair is my responsibility. Can't put Carly in charge of that. Are you nuts? More of your calls right now. Jerome, the Packer fans on the line. Hello, Jerome. Jerome going once. Jerome going twice. He ain't there. Blitz got beats. How do I get on the Discord? I've explained this earlier in the show, but if you're just tuning in, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. I will post it in the live chat right now. All right. You get in there, you get access to the Discord for less than a cup of coffee a month. It's just $5. And if you sign up for the year, it's less than that. You save 15%. That's how you do it. We're ready. Snowball says, is there a show later? We're unpacking. 4 p.m. Eastern. It's going down. It's all happening. Andrew Fialko's back. Jersey Jet. Corey Davis is the break the glass in case of emergency option at best. Probably. I don't think he's going to be signed. I don't see it. I thought there was a path for it. It didn't happen. Once they took Corley, I think that was it. And that's what kind of happened there. Hit the like button if you're just tuning into the show. Let's give a huge shout out to our most recent Patreon member, Lexi Lima or Lima. Hopefully one of those attempts at your name, Lexi, I got correct. You are our most recent Patreon subscriber. I just got the email notification that you signed up. So thank you very much for your support. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is one of our favorite members of the 4% female demographic. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan. Hello, Alan.
Good morning, Jacob. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I mean, where's the wig? We're not cross-dressing today?
No cross-dressing. But again, I laughed when they said I should wear the wig after every Jet win. I will do so. Trust me. I will.
Will you do that? I think that'd be a great bit. You call it to the post-game show after every win in the wig.
I will, unless I'm going to be at the bar to watch the game with Aurora and Gary, then I will do so when I get home.
All right, that works too. I mean, I'll be at some games too, so the post-game show will start when I get back after that, so you'll have time.
First of all, prayers to all those in Houston who have lost all power. I know and I've heard the latest was 5 deaths already there. So that's pretty ridiculous. Bobby, I'm offended that you did not hit on me as much as you hit on Gary. That's one thing. To my boy Julio, please no more Corey Davis talk. Okay. He couldn't catch the ball here when he was here the first time. I don't really need him back. And as far as Davante Adams is concerned, the talk of Davante Adams definitely has me worried about Mike Williams. If Mike Williams was 100% healthy, I think the Jets have been very hush-hush on his availability to start the year.
But wait a second. Hold on. This is coming from Rodgers. It's not coming from the Jets. It's Rodgers who's friends with Davante, who's like being like what Josh Hart was doing with Mikal Bridges for a year and a half.
Oh, I understand that. But the idea that Mike Williams, there's still questions on whether he'll start the year with the Jets or whether
Not really, though. I don't think there's really questions about that. He has said he plans to be ready for week 1. The Jets have said he's on the same timeline that Brees was on last year. Unless there's a setback that we hear about and we get to August and he's still not practicing, then yeah, okay. But like, I think you're reaching with that one, man. I think this is coming from Rodgers and Davante having a lifelong friendship since they became teammates.
I still think there's a chance he starts the season on the pup. I really do. But that's just me. But I appreciate all the content. And again, if you can't laugh at yourself, there's no one else. You can't laugh at anybody else. So as much as you want to tear into me throughout the year, go for it as long as the Jets win games throughout the year. Okay?
That wig is coming on a lot this year, baby.
The wig is coming on a lot. Oh, my God. What a scary sight. Again, me and you have something in common, Jacob. We both have faces for radio.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good one, Jacob.
Alan, farewell. Nice little dig at the end there. Respect. Little Red the Jet with a super chat. It's me, Jake. I forgot to change my name. LOL, I just did. Welcome aboard to the Patreon, Little Red the Jet. Join the Discord. Show everyone how easy it is to do. Nate, Jake making sure Tom knows he's not a simp. That's true. That's no simping on this show. Let's see. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll continue to cut the line. Let's see if we got this guy with us this time. Jerome, the Packer fan, is called back. And what's up, Jerome?
What's going on, Jake, man? I was on a call. A call came in just as you called me on, and I couldn't take both of them. But that's neither here. That's neither here nor there, man. These Bauer boys are affected, aren't they? They just won't give it up.
Well, there's really one at this point. It's really just Gary, but sure.
Yeah, but yeah, that's something else. Bobby, that's my guy. I love that man. I love that man. You hang in there, Bobby, okay? And continue to get your rest, man. We can't be having mishaps and miscues on here like that. But I'm gonna weigh in on the Davante. You can never have too much luxury. It's better to have it. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. But before we give away the picks that you guys have, I would wait and see to the deadline because you never know where you're going to use it at. You may not need Davante. If something unfortunate happens where you need a safety or O-line or someone gets injured on the defense, you want to make that priority. You have enough on the offense. But in the event that the offense isn't clicking like we think it ought to, like we think it should, or someone goes down on the offense, then absolutely you want Davante. Davante, the Raiders, I was looking at their schedule. They're not going to be as good as last year. I'm looking at that schedule, man. They're going to probably be worse. They're going to probably be worse. I got them at around 3-6, 4-5 by the time of that deadline. And Davante is going to want to get back to having his numbers and whatnot. And the one thing he had with Aaron Rodgers, they had the symbiosis that they had going in Green Bay. He would instantly pick up where he left off at. And with Rodgers, he'd be in the conversation of being in the Hall of Fame if he stayed with Rodgers, if they stayed together or whatnot. So I think if you guys can get them, get them. Teams, it'll just be so much easier because they can't stock the box anymore. They have to respect Rodgers being back there under center. Who you gonna take away? It's just too many weapons now. You guys look like the Rams of 2 or 3 years ago when they went all in. You guys are trying to go all in. You get Davante. You guys having Davante push out in the AFC Championship, given what you guys already have. So yeah, I'd go get him. I'd go get him. I'd be all in, and it probably won't cost you guys as much as y'all think it would. And so it's plausible that it could happen. Davante will want out at 3 and 6. He'll want out.
Hey, Jerome, that's the whole key, right? Like we could speculate. We got to see where the Raiders are and what happens with the Jets. What if Mike Williams is balling? What if Corley's really good? You might not make that move. You might need something else. A lot of unknowns. Nate writes in, I think we forget how good Mike Willie is. He's an elite number 2, and we have a bona fide number 1 in G-Dub. Davante may not be necessary, but again, for the right price, sure, appease Aaron and push all the chips in. That's what it comes down to. Best case scenario, you don't need Davante Adams. Now, how likely is that? I mean, he's still Davante Adams. I would be surprised if they didn't need him. I think every team could use him. But Mike Williams, when he plays, is a beast. 6'4" receiver. He's averaged 16 yards per reception over the last 5 seasons. Tops in the NFL among 81 players with at least 300 targets. This guy's a playmaker. You know, the Jets were 31st in yards per catch last season at 9.5. This guy's number 1 in football in that category among eligible receivers the last 5 years. Mike Williams could play. So keep that in mind. This guy wins every 50-50 ball. Tyrod Taylor, who played with him with the Chargers, called it 80-20 balls when you're throwing to Williams. I mean, look, got to keep him healthy. I get it. This guy's going to help a lot. A lot. Purple Belt Mike writes in, nothing is stopping us from a Super Bowl. Nothing. Nothing. Well, I hope you're right. Hennessy says, can the season start already so everyone can shut up? According to Hennessy, this is what he wants.
Nobody gives a shit.
He just wants no one to talk. That's it. Nobody. Jimmy says, Jake, love being a part of the Patreon and the Discord. Feels like a family. Thank you, Jimmy. That was the whole point. So I'm glad you feel that way. Bringing the community together. And I think one of the coolest things about this show and then the Discord extension of the show is everyone kind of feels like they know each other already. Like I've done enough of these events now over the last year or so. And it's always cool to see the listeners or the regular callers of the show, if you will, the commenters in the chat. They meet for the first time and it's not like awkward at all. It's everyone knows each other. It's like a family. You know? Jesus Jerry says, what movie scares the bleep out of you? NFL Films 2010 AFC Championship game. Won't watch it. Carly says, who's excited for August 17th? I know I am. See you all at T-Squared Social RSVP in the link to the description, baby. Alan says, I need to sneak my way to T-Squared on August 17th. You better be wearing the wig that night. You'll fit right in New York City with that thing on. You'd be perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, he's flailing his arms like this off air. Only I'm the one who could see it. There could be only one man who's flailing his arms like that. And that man is Bobby Midnight.
Well, you know, I've grown to love my buddy Alan, but South-Ass has to go. I threw him off my show. Bobby!
I forgot to wish your dad a happy birthday to him. Would you like me to sing a happy birthday song to him?
Actually, I would. This is a great idea.
Yes. You gotta put me center square. What's his name again?
Steve.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Steve. Happy birthday to you. And you're awesome, man. Da-da-da. How's that?
That was tremendous.
I wanted to say that when I was on, but you distracted me with all those pictures. What did Alan say?
You're blaming me.
What was Alan disappointed in me now? I heard him. He was disappointed in me in what?
I think he wants you to own the hilarity that ensued when you thought
No,
Gary was a woman.
I said I was tired. My eyes were tired. I told everybody that. That's
No, it makes sense. You thought Gary looked like this because you were so tired.
Yeah, I was tired. Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So don't show that. Gary doesn't. I agree with that. But I wanted to do that for your dad because he gave me a Gusbuster umbrella. So you gonna show him that for me?
I'll pass it along to him.
Yeah, show him.
I will.
I love that guy. He's a great guy like you.
He's a big fan.
I never met your mother though. She's a nice lady.
You'll meet her at some point, I'm sure.
What's your mother's name?
Alyssa.
Alyssa, and you moved her out of the way. I heard at the last catch up.
Well, we were doing a listener photo, and she tried to jump in.
So let her jump in. That's your mom. She loves you.
Of course, but we took a photo after that. She got confused.
Oh, well, I know, but she made you. You're the star. She made the star.
I was actually adopted, Bobby, so she didn't make me.
You were adopted?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding with me?
I am kidding with you, yes.
Yeah, I know you were a kidder. Like, you kid everybody. I know you took her out on these lunch.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. We'll talk to you later.
Now, what was that comment, Bobby? You don't get to get away with a little under your breath comment on this show.
Okay, I said, didn't you take her out to lunch after the Pilates yesterday?
My mom?
No, Carly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You went to the Pilates yesterday with Carly. Didn't you take her out to lunch?
She said on your show yesterday that there was no lunch. Now you're calling her a liar?
I think you should have took her out to lunch to be a gentleman. That would have been nice.
How do you know we didn't?
Well, you guys say you didn't.
Well, I'm just simply not commenting on it, so we don't know. What
okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I can read between the lines, but I hope you.
I don't know if you can. You can't even distinguish if Gary's a woman or not. How do I know you're?
I know. I was tired. Man. I had a good night's sleep last night. I got up at 10 o'clock this morning. That's pretty late for me to get up at 10. I almost missed your show.
I think you got to start sleeping in more, Bobby. You're going live too long.
No, I stopped at 12 last night, but then after that, when you behind the scenes in StreamYard.
Sure.
Guess who I got to talk to after that? She came back from the hospital.
Oh, your girl Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah and Addison. So I'm gonna give it to Nick what he gave to me on the other show, his show. Yeah, so payback is if Nick Shine's watching, payback is what? I got you back.
Do you?
I did. I got him. I was laughing last night. I told Allison, let's bring her on and talk and then leave Nick Shine out. Yeah, Nick. You don't know the secret. I'll tell you later if you come and stop by. I'll tell you anyway.
How's your pursuit of Sarah going? Did she enjoy your new song?
Yeah, she laughs at that. She thought it was funny. Gator put it. I wish she changed it to bologna. I hate ham though. Ham is too salty.
You don't like any ham, huh?
No ham, no.
Interesting.
Not a big ham fan.
All right.
So I'll let you go. I just wanted to sing your dad a happy birthday. He's an awesome man.
Well,
and
thank
tell
you for
Chloe
that.
I said hello. I miss Chloe.
I'll let her know.
Yeah, okay. Bye now.
Anything else? You good?
I'm good. I'll wait until after you finish and start on my show.
All right. I just don't want you to be flailing your arms off air again. It's very distracting.
No, I won't. I only did one hand.
It looked like this.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Okay, I'll see you later.
All right. Goodbye, Bobby.
Goodbye.
Hey guys, guess who's with me now?
Oh, Bubby.
It's the girl who makes my freaky roll.
Oh, Bubby.
She's the only one I let sit on my chair.
Oh, Bubby.
With her beautiful face and her long blonde hair.
Oh, Bubby. Oh, you know I'd stop by more often if you clean up this mess.
Oh, Sarah.
Is that an old ham sandwich over there, Bubby?
Yes, Sarah.
Do you think I'm prettier than 3D Gary, Bubby?
Of course, Sarah.
Because you said he's good looking with his long, sweet hair.
Oh, Sarah. I thought it was his wife.
I mean, Bobby gets confused sometimes. But we love him anyway. Hit the like button. Gator writes in, Bobby misses the point with the ham. The reason it's still there is because he doesn't want to eat it. Dave says Bobby has a short fuse. Yeah, he was getting very testy even with me this morning. I'm telling you, he's hangry. He's cranky. He's not getting enough sleep. The shows are 10 hours long every day. It's not sustainable. K&D checks in. What's up, King and Dreams? Jake, what's good? Bobby, my guy. Big up to my guys in the chat. Jet up. Love it, K&D. Tom says, Jake, readjust your schedule for Bobby, please. Have some respect. At this point, I feel like I have to. Mr. Flowers says, Jake, have caution bringing your mom around Bobby. I know. You got to be a little concerned with Bobby.
A lot of good-looking chicks in that family. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh, yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh, yeah. Hide them kids.
Again, leave your damn freaky down.
Too sexy.
you gotta chill, man. We're all on Bobby time, folks. It's Bobby's world. We're all just living in it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now raining memberships. Guitarist has gifted 5 channel memberships. Let's go, baby. Fire it up. The memberships are flowing.
Oh, nice.
Here we go. The following 5 people got memberships. Big Steve, JJ the Jet Plane, Keith Parcells, J Law, and Good Vibes. You guys are all channel members. Will anyone else make it rain before we head out? Ladies and gentlemen, Willie E-Vision says, I got to get out of here before I lose my life. Davante Adams, Netflix receiver. Let's save him. He said, I got to get out of here before I lose my life. I didn't hear that quote. I don't know where that quote came from. That's true. I know they did the Netflix show, but I don't know if that's actually a real quote or not. I think we've heard if he said that. Sko checks in with a super chat. Finally get to meet you, Jake, on August 17th. Let's go, Sko. You better be dressed up as Grimace, as you are on the Bobby show all the time. You better. Oh, he said it, I guess, during the Pats game. Okay, yeah. That was before they fired McDaniel. I get it. KFP, sweet hat. Well, it's from Ricky NY, baby. Carly says Bobby needs scrunchies for when he flails. If you're going to use scrunchies, they better be Barbie scrunchies. Shout out to Boomtown and his wife and their business. Talked about it on yesterday's show. JT says, do you think JJ will catapult into top 10 edge conversations after this year? I do. I really do. I think he's a top 10 edge rusher at the end of this year. Lawrence Rubin is asking for D's Nuts. Where you at? D's Nuts. You're being summoned by Lawrence Rubin. He wants a membership.
Is this Mike D's Nuts?
Shout out to Mike D's Nuts. Let's see. Addison says Allen's favorite basketball player is Andrew Wiggins. Not terrible. I chuckled. That wasn't awful. Carly, that is such a Ricky NY hat. It is the most Ricky NY hat a man can have. Nothing like a Ricky NY hat. This hat is the most quintessential Ricky NY hat. This hat and Ricky NY, I'd argue, Carly, goes together like you and hot dogs on the 4th of July. Guitar says JJ is going to effing destroy quarterbacks this year. I mean, he kind of did last year, no? He's only going to get better as this team plays with a lead. He's only going to get better when this team goes out there and is not on the field the entire game defensively. So I'm excited. J-Quest says, just got home from taking my wife to the hospital. Didn't see Sarah there. J-Quest, if you're actually she did get home from the hospital, I hope your wife's doing okay. Just one universal hospital. Tom writes in, imagining a hat with Ricky NY in his background on the hat itself. I could see it. Kidney stones for his wife, J-Quest's wife. Everyone send your well wishes to J-Quest's wife. Mike D's Nuts says, I'm always here. Mike D's Nuts is like Batman. All right? He's the hero we need. He's protecting the goth, the Asmaniacs at all times.
Is this Mike D's Nuts?
You bet your ass it is. Carly says somehow the Pilates pick is less embarrassing. I think both are excellent photos, personally. I mean, these are just tremendous photos. Who's more of a woman, Carly or Alan? Or Gary? I don't know. I think Gary's the most womanly here. Andrew writes in, does the hat's Wi-Fi work? Hey, it works better than Ricky's in-home Wi-Fi, that's for sure. Stack wrote in, Big Fella asked how many more memberships needed. Well, Big Fella, if you're out there, because I know you've been a little under the weather, so hopefully you're still watching, I could tell you that according to YouTube, we need 164 more members. I don't know if that included the 16 that we got this show. It's giving me different numbers. So we're making progress. Going to wrap up here soon. Last chance to either get in or we'll do a little Ask Me Anything in the comments on the way out of here. So write that in and I'll respond to some questions. Could be Jets, NFL, other sports, non-sports related, etc. I have not watched episode 2 of the Giants Hard Knocks that came out last night because I was on Mad Dog Radio till 1 a.m. So I'm not working till 1 a.m. today, which I'm thrilled about. I actually have a night to myself, so maybe I'll catch that later. Carly says, how sore are you on a scale of 1 to 10? I am so ridiculously sore today, it's embarrassing. It hurt to get out of bed today and to put on like shorts to do the show. I've never done Pilates before until yesterday, and I am dead. Nate says, Bobby's finger is hovering over the go live button. Bobby, is this true?
Huh?
Is your finger hovering over the go live button right now?
I'm patiently waiting for you. I'm not. Nate, please stop it, okay? I'll go on when he is totally done. Okay, that's when I go on.
It sounds like Nate's a big troll on your show.
No, he's not a big troll. No, he's a great kid.
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bobby. Jquest says my wife is going to need to be in bed all day, so I'll have time to watch. Oh, there we go. At least we get more Jquest. Dave says they complain about Douglas. The Giants GM is really lost. I don't know if we know what Joe Shane is yet as a GM. I don't know if that's fair. We'll see how this year goes. Curly says, England or Netherlands, who you got? I have more friends in the UK, so I'll root for our former country. There you go. Dakota writes in, Jets have 3 players in the top 25, under 25. That they do. Better take advantage. Mike writes in, remember when Ricky called in? He didn't even know what we were talking about. He just woke up, saw Jake was live, and just called in. That's an Asmaniac. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Shlomo, did Receiver come out yet? Did you watch it? I think it did come out. I have not seen it yet. That's on my list too. It's hard to do shows though, or watch shows when you watch sports every night. This is not enough time in the day. Tom says England blew a 13-colony lead. They did. One of the biggest collapse of all time. Adam writes in, since you said Bobby's World, I can't stop thinking about the 90s cartoon theme. It is quite the theme. David says, from my experience with playing every day in competition, it hurts the first 3 days, then goes away. Stick with Pilates. I would do another one. It is a great workout. I've never done it before. And you don't want to embarrass yourself in front of everyone, so you feel like you're more locked in. Who's the Jet player that said they did Pilates in the offseason a couple of years ago? And that was like a big thing. Forget which player said that. Dave writes in, you should have heard Mike Lombardi trashing Shane. Didn't agree with everything, but he wasn't all wrong. Mike Lombardi is very bitter against everyone, so keep that in mind. Him and I had a shouting match on air at the Super Bowl, if you guys remember that interview. So I'll have to hear what he said. He's no fan of the Jets, I'll tell you that much, because the Jets fired his son. Addison says, Jake, don't mess with Allen's wigs or there will be hell to pay. You know, not terrible. I was going to play this.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But I actually thought it was not bad, Addison. Well done. Tom says, LOL, my clean house, King George Cornwallis fired. One of the greatest videos on YouTube. I'll probably watch it after the show because it's so funny. And we got to get this guy on the show because he's a big Jet fan, and I've known him a long time. There's a guy named Big Action Bill Buchanan. He does the best Mike Francesa impersonation. He did a whole video, 1976, Mike Francesa. 1776, excuse me, Mike Francesa, as if he was doing a talk show during the American Revolution. And it is so funny. We will get him on our show. He's a big Jet fan. Wild. Lauren says, I still can't believe the season is in 2 months. We'll get there. Tom A says, when Cornwallis is Cornwallis, he's Alexander the Great. So funny. So many good lines in there. Gator says, trivia, what famous Jets player made an appearance on Game of Thrones? Everyone should know the answer to this if you've watched Thrones.
Oh, nice.
You probably couldn't even see where Rodgers was in his scene, but it's in the last season. He gets lit into flames. Love it. Canuck Jets writes in, Jake, are you doing fantasy football this year? How many leagues are you in? I do one with my college friends every year, and for the first time, I'm in an Asmaniac league that is sponsored by Full Time Fantasy and Circa. If you want in Canucks Jets, you have to message me. We only have 4 spots left. It is a big-time league. If you're a hardcore fantasy football fan, this is the league for you. All right, all the info's on the Discord, so you got to be on the Discord to be a part of it, but it is a hardcore league. We got just 4 spots left. Mike says, it's actually a really good workout. I do weights mostly, but Pilates is great. Yeah, I mean, you just sweat. Your heart rate gets up to a crazy number. Let's see. We're going to wrap up here shortly. Tom says, Mike Zahn did a Star Wars version too, but I guess Disney struck it down. He did a Civil War version as well. Didn't he do a World War II version too? It's so funny. The original one is my favorite, though. The 1776, Francesa. So funny. Man. What a show. We learned a lot today. What did we learn? Gary's a woman. Alan is a cross-dresser. Bobby Midnight is still freaky.
Calm your freaky down.
You need to RSVP for our first ever watch party at T-Squared Social in Midtown Manhattan on August 17th. That's the bottom line. That's what we learned, folks. Anyway, join the Patreon. Get in the Discord, please. I'm tired of talking about it. Be about it. All right? You're going to love it. Less than a coffee cup a month is the price for the Discord. If you sign up for the year, it's less than that. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. We're back later this afternoon. I got the great Andrew Fialco dropping Jets porn for everyone. So if you're around kids, don't let them watch the afternoon show. It's too dangerous. Some of the Aaron Rodgers stuff we're going to be showing you is outrageous. Going to give you all a little reminder on what the Jets are going to be this year. I can't wait. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. I will talk to you guys soon. Jets, 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 Jets.
Is Brock Purdy going to run for his life on the opener? Yeah! Let's go. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets.
There's been a lot of you out there asking about who he be. Well, he's about to let you know.
He's Charles.
This rap is so hot, you'll play it on a loop. You'll never get the recipe for chicken noodle soup. Soup or a spider or even a bat. Got nothing on me or Bobby with his hat. Lady's gotta be a 10 if I'm gonna date her. Shout out to my homie, his name is Gator. I'm Charles.
To all you other guys trying to rap on Jake's show, got nothing on this guy and his flow.
He's Charles.
These bars be so hot, I'll get invited on Fountain. You know who won't? That hater, Alan. My comic book and movie takes are so hot and wild. Since my last verse, Johnny had another child. My YouTube is blowing up and I'm becoming a star. My takes are fresh like the clothes on VR. I'm Charles.
Jets, Yankees, comics, hip-hop, nobody compares when it comes to him.
He's Charles.
I see everyone on Jake's show trying to prop bars. I'm the only one jumping over cars. Blowski calls the show and he's always really loud. Shout out to Nick, you know he'd be proud. I don't like Zach or his family, they're Mormon. First name Charles, last name Gorman. I'm Charles, motherfucker.
You just witnessed the debut of a proud New York Jet fan and a Jake Asman production. Brought to you by the man, the myth, the legend himself.
I'm Charles.